Hello, sports fans. Mauricio here. So, I suppose let's just keep going. We need to make our interface um, so that we can do data entry. And we need the toolbox here. Again, I'll just pin that because we're going to use it for a while. If you lose, and we don't need the Server Explorer, so I'll unpin that. I like to have a nice large screen. Um, Makes my brain relax. If you lose any of your windows because you hit the X on them, so I don't recommend hitting the X. I recommend using the push pin. Then you click on it and it comes back. But if you're going to use it for a while, pin it and then unpin it. Just like having a poster in college. Pin it to the wall and then take it with you, I guess. All right, if you lose any of your windows, then just click the view and then you can find your window and get it back. So we need to type in a product name. So there you go. But I'm going to give it a property. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to pin that. And once this turns blue, then I could start typing over here. So you don't have to highlight this. You can just click on the blue and it's product name, but I'm going to call it TXT product name. I'm going to use TXT for text boxes, RBL for radio button lists, DDL for drop-down lists, BTN for buttons, int for integer variable, dec for decimal variable. These little three-letter beginning, prefaces, I guess, will help you code faster. If you just said total equals something like total, what is total? Is it a variable? Is it a text box? Is it a data table? Is it a grid view? What is it? So so GV grid view, TXT text boxes. So it pretty much helps a lot more than you would think. I go about 30 tall. You don't have to be that specific. All right, category ID. I do want to have a little fun here. And so let's use a radio button list for categories. So guess what I'm going to call it? RBL, or radio button list. So not radio button list. And then you edit items. And then 1, 2, 3. I'm going to add 3. So the first one, do you have 3 categories for your Shopify products? I have 3. Clothing is 1. Let me push that up to the top. So it's actually index 0. We have to talk about that. Then I have health and beauty aids. That's category 2. And then I had appliances. And so you need 3 categories for whatever products you're selling. So when they pick from that list, we're going to use that for data entry. So I do have it up here, radio button list. So I do want to call it RBL categories. It does take a second to name things, but you'll see later that we can go much faster and have much fewer errors. I've taught this class about 50 times, and I really do believe it goes a lot faster if you use some type of naming conventions, RBL, BTN, etc. All right, so I don't like that it's tall here. I'm going to put it wide, so that'll save some space. I will make that a little bit, spread these out a little bit. So this is just like a table in Microsoft Word. You can format it. So then we need stock quantity, like how many do we, so we're adding a new product, and maybe when you add the product you have 0 in stock. Maybe when you add the product it's because you just bought some from a wholesaler or a manufacturer. But we need a text box for stock quantity. So there's text box, and here's our property. So I'll call it TXT, stock quantity. And kind of widen it a little bit. Product cost, so that'll be another text box. They're typing in a number, so txt. So I pinned my properties, that's why it's still here. So txt cost. And then we have preferred vendor, and I'll have another radio button list here. And I want to have 3 vendors, and so I'm buying a product from a vendor, and so we'll show another time how you can add more vendors or add more categories and have this list automatically refresh, but not right now. So I'll just type in some vendors. So Sammy's Importers is 1. By the way, the value is, in this case, it's vendor 1 or vendor ID 1. So there's a name, Sammy's Importers, but we're actually going to save when we save a new product. Let me just hit OK here and see if I can pull up the table. So that's Best Buy products. So it has oh, it's the wrong one. Best Buy. We're doing FA25. Yeah, I got too much stuff. FA25 products. Yeah. So I do have preferred vendor ID and I do have category ID. So we're saving an ID number, but I would never expect a program user to memorize, number 1 is Sammy's Importers. So edit items. So they're going to see the word Sammy's Importers, but we're going to save the number 1. That's called the selected value. The selected value is 1. And so we're going to store the number 1. Or we're going to store the number 2 if it's Thai style. So I like Thailand. Oops, so that's number 2. Very peaceful place. And Coconut Brothers. Coconut Bros. Period. 3. All right, so we have value 1, 2, 3, but that's too easy, right? So we have to also throw in that they're indexed 0, 1, and 2. This is not my plan. This is just the way it comes out of the box. So their indexes in general start at 0. So we're going to save a value 1, 2, 3 because we're human, but computers start at 0. So we'll use that. So actually what we'll say in our error checking is if radio button list 1, we'll call it RBL vendors. If RBL vendors dot selected index, which is this 0, 1, 2, if that index is less than 0, what's less than 0? -1. -1 is the index when nothing's been selected yet. So we'll use, so we'll say if RBL vendors dot selected index equals -1, then stop. Like they didn't select anything yet. This is a required field, so please select one. You'll see that in the next video or maybe today or in this video. So we'll hit OK there, and I'm going to call it RBL vendors. So radio button lists are kind of nice looking, and repeat direction horizontal. Yeah. Again, I am not your professor for aesthetics, but I do know we need a button here, so let's put that there. And if I was a good developer, I'd call it BTN save a product or add a product or whatever you want. And the text also can say save product. And I don't know, I feel like we need one more. Okay, and then what we want to have is a text box for our feedback. We kind of talked about feedback now. I'm going to call that txt output, input processing output. So I'm going to txt output, and I'm going to make that multi-line. Multi-line is when you want to have word wrap. All right, so let's save that. Let's save that. And then let's run it. View in browser. And then here we go. Products. Great. But it doesn't do anything. Well, we don't have any code yet. But it's starting to look a little better. I mean, this font being different doesn't really look good. But, we'll fix it as we go. I do want to add a little space right there so it looks a little better. But we are ready to write some code. We do need a button to clear this out. So I'll call that btn clear product, something like that. And on the text is what you see. So we'll just say clear form, something whatever the human can kind of remember. And let's just go into save a product. And what's helpful is we know the input parameters that we need, but what are the steps? So declare local variables, error checking. We always want to check that the values typed in by the human are accurate, like if it's required, and they leave it blank, they leave a text box blank, or they didn't select a vendor, we need to stop, because stored procedures will crash if you don't give them the values they want. So we'll do error checking of the human's data entry, or we'll call him program user. So we'll do error checking, and then we'll create the command that runs the stored procedure, and then we'll use try catch block to run the command, which runs the stored procedure, and run the command and get feedback. Remember, we have output now, which was our print statement, but now it's in an output and varchar variable. So what do you do with and varchar variables? You show them in a text box. So that's why we have txt output. So at some point we'll say txt output.text. So the text, the values, or what's going to be shown is really in the text property of the text box. And so get feedback, and so we'll assign that to the text box. Try catch, and then refresh the grid view to see the new product. Okay, that's our steps. So inside a procedure, we'll use dim rather than public shared. Public shared is only used at the top here, public shared. But inside procedures, procedure again is a code sandwich that runs when an event happens. So the event that somebody clicked on the save a product. So we'll go ahead, dim string feedback as string. All right, see you in the next video.